This month will be focused on two main topics: patience and emotions. In detail, anger and fear. Marcus Aurelius was saying, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." This sentence inevitably makes me think of some of the features achieved by some of the greats in basketball, like Kobe Bryant's 81 points.
This would be 18 for 20 from the line and an 81-point game.
Or Michael Jordan's last shot in the 1998.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead!
If you see those players in those critical moments of their careers, really, the one common trait you would see is that they are absolutely, totally in flow and calm. If you cannot be upset by external factors, then according to Epictetus, you are invincible. And this again takes me back to another historic moment that basketball fans for sure will know, is this no flinch moment of Kobe Bryant. Matt Barnes kind of faked to throw the ball on his face. And Matt Barnes really got this close to Kobe Bryant's face. Kobe did not even flinch. He was really showing that type of stoicism there. So how do we actually manage to keep a calm mind, to stay in control, and how do we not let anger control us? Epictetus was saying, "Keep constant guard over your perceptions, for it is no small thing you are protecting. Peace of mind, freedom from pain and fear." In one word, freedom. Your perceptions of external factors or what happens to you in the moment make the difference between being controlled by anger and controlling and even channeling in the right way your anger. In my opinion, how we perceive external factors, how we perceive life on a daily, every moment, is the difference between happiness, a happy life, and depression. Let me ask you a question. If somebody says something extremely mean about you, but you never ever get to know that this thing was said about you, did it actually happen? At any time, at any moment, you can decide how you react to external factor. It's your own decision, and it is the only thing you can actually really control. You cannot control what everybody else says or thinks, but you control your perception of what is being said or done. Again, Epictetus says, "The harm comes from your own belief of the abuse, your own opinion." And I would add, so does the love. At any time you can decide, to be angry or to be loving. There is a quote from Tony Robbins that stuck to my mind. What's wrong is always available, and so is what's right. At any situation, in any circumstance, you decide if what is happening is wrong or is right and how you react to it. So if you have already seen some of my videos, you know that I love making sports examples because I believe that sports are a total reflection of life. We were playing this game and we were away. So we have this referee that is actually a little bit of a hothead. So it's the first quarter of the game. It's like, 10-10, and we are playing, everything is going fine. I'm driving the lane, I get hit and fouled. The referee actually blows the whistle, and as he blows the whistle, I instinctively go, "And one!" I shout, "And one!" And one in basketball means nothing else than when you get fouled and you score, you get an additional free throw. That means 2 points plus 1 and 1. This is usually nothing really offensive, and nobody has any issue with that really. But right after I shout "and 1", the referee goes, "Pop, technical foul." I'm like, "What? To me? What did I do?" You don't have to say "and 1". Okay, so the referee had an issue with me saying "and 1" when I get fouled. We keep on playing and things are not going so well for us. The referee is starting really to affect the game and to blow the whistle too often against us. Another teammate of mine did the same thing, got again a technical foul. So the referee said to everybody, from now on, anybody who says "and one" is gonna get a technical foul. So we are away and I'm starting to think, is he actually trying to give an advantage to the other team? Is he actually trying to make us lose? I'm right now sitting on the bench and resting a little bit and having a conversation with my coach, and he tells me he knows this referee and he knows that this guy needs a lot of significance. He was doing that to feel important. One important thing to note is that referees in the lower leagues get constantly criticized by everybody. Well, they are not, the most skilled referees, just like we are not the most skilled players. And they have also less means to, do a good job. They are not like the NBA refs who have trainings and all of that. And they constantly get criticized. So you can imagine for somebody whose significance and importance is such an important thing, it is actually sometimes a torture to be a ref, because you get criticized almost constantly. Almost every call, somebody looks at you and says, "Hey, what are you doing? That was not the right call." So in that moment, kind of a light bulb turned on, and it is now, the end of the first half. I see the referee walking close to us, and it's only him alone. So I approach him, and now it's me and him, and I go like, "Hey ref, I wanted to apologize for me saying "and one." But it was really not meant to be offensive toward the other team or toward you even. It was just instinct. So yeah, sorry about that." And as soon as I apologized for that, his face just turned from, kind of passive aggressive or defensive to happy and open, and he even almost apologized to me for calling a technical foul. So long story short, this changed the entire game. Now we are in the fourth quarter. The game is extremely close, and I'm finding myself in the same situation as in the first quarter. Driving the lane, getting fouled, ref blows the whistle, I score, and what do? Yeah, I shout "and one!" And as soon as it comes out of of me, I just look at him with my body language that was like, I didn't do it on purpose. It was the last minutes. It was an extremely close game. It was like 1 point, I think, or 2 points made the difference. He didn't call a technical foul. I went to the line, I converted the 3-point play, and at the end of the game, we won the game. Obviously, it was not only me with this play winning the game. I'm not trying to say that, but I did manage to affect a moment in the future by changing my perception of why the referee actually was calling against us. It was not because he had anything against us, actually. It was his own mind, it was his own thing. He wanted significance, he wanted attention, he wanted to feel in control of the game. Those are the best games to win, really. Look, most often we don't know what people are going through or what are their driving values. We don't have all of the information about an event or what is happening in the moment, but we do have control over our perception. If we decide to see the negative or the positive. What's wrong is always available, so is what's right. Let me quote again Marcus Aurelius. He says, "You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. But we care, I care. So why should I let anger get the best of me and stop me from achieving my goal? It is not the event that is critical, it is my perception of the event and how I react to it." You don't have control over external events, you don't have control over what people think or what people say. you do have control over your perception and what you think. Your perception and what you think can influence the outcome of the event and can even influence how people think and act. Seneca was saying, many are harmed by fear itself, and many may have come to their fate while dreading fate. Look, fear is a required emotion. It protects us from dangers. It's wired in our brain, and it is important that we have this emotion. However, today, fear, more often than not, it is a limiting factor. Every now and then, I like to remind myself that our brain is actually running on an outdated operating system. In the early days of human history, we learned that we would survive if we belonged to a tribe. Look, humans were by no means able to fight any animals. The only strength we had was the ability to think, create weapons, and group and create, tribes, teams. Keep that in mind. Belonging to a tribe was, and actually is, directly connected to our survival and evolution. Back in the days, tribes were not particularly forgiving if you were not contributing in some ways, if you were not useful to the tribe in some ways. Those who didn't care about the tribe or were more relaxed or lousy, they would be just thrown out of the tribe. And being out there in the wilderness, alone with little to no weaponry really, it meant death, for sure. So why am I telling you this entire story about the tribe? Because that's directly connected to fear. So fear arises when we start thinking, I am not enough. If I am not enough, I won't be loved. And if I won't be loved, I won't survive. Why do you think the majority of people crave those likes on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook? And on the other hand, think about how the majority of people actually struggle to publicly admit their limitations or their mistakes. Think in business, in school, or in sports. How many colleagues of yours can easily and transparently say, I don't know, or I screwed up? My guess is that not so many people are able to do that effortlessly. Here now comes the good news. Today, if we screw up, if we don't know, we are not gonna die. We are not gonna be ejected by the tribe. We are not gonna be kicked out. Yet our amygdala, yet our brain, because it's running on this outdated operating system, sends the signal to us, hey, careful, we are not gonna survive here. We are gonna get kicked out. We even know today that thanks to brain plasticity, actually, we can learn and be great at anything we put our mind into. We can learn anything. This is an extremely interesting topic that would take actually a whole new video. But if you're interested in the topic of brain plasticity, I can warmly suggest to read Mindset by Carol Dweck. And it's actually, in my opinion, the only book you need to read about brain plasticity and growth mindset. Henry Ford was saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Remember this acronym, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. It's super helpful to keep that in mind. We usually are fearful in situations that are actually outside of our comfort zone. Something that we have not done yet or we don't know about yet. So what does that mean really? That means that at the moment we feel fear, at the moment we are fearful, this might be an opportunity to actually improve and learn something new. We are obviously smart enough to think logically instead of emotionally and understand, okay, is this what I'm feeling right now really life-threatening? Is this threatening my existence in any ways? Or is it just my primal brain telling me, hey, be careful, you are about to get ejected. You are about to get kicked out of the tribe. So how can we actually beat that primal brain, that outdated operative system? Marcus Aurelius was saying, just methodically complete your task. So I like to think of fear as the gate that stays between me, my objectives, and the next level. The moment I perceive fear, I do two things. Number one, I get excited because I realize I am about to get to the next level. Number two, I make a substantial effort to take action right here, right now, even a mini small action to move toward fear and not away from fear. Why do I have to take that action now? Action beats fear every day of the week. As soon as you progress and move toward fear, you are creating positive momentum to get through that gate. Why now? Because otherwise you will postpone. The moment somebody tells me, when this happens, I will do this, I know that this is actually not gonna happen. I know that they are just procrastinating. They are just finding a way to tell their brains, we will start, let's keep it at the moment where it is because it's uncomfortable. It's guaranteed that this person will not make progress toward that action on the day they said it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, activate the bell. The videos are going to get only better. Remember brain plasticity, growth mindset. I'm gonna learn this thing. So I'll see you next week, and remember, enjoy the process.